Hi everyone, it's Tatiana from Tatiana's Everyday Food and welcome back to my kitchen. I'm kicking off my Christmas video recipes with a cake that captures all the flavors of the holiday season. Today I'm making a peppermint mocha cake. So I'm gonna start by making chocolate cake layers flavored with coffee and peppermint, and then we're gonna make a sweet peppermint buttercream to finish everything off, and I'm gonna garnish the cake with some candy canes. And I love this cake because it reminds me of like a hot cup of peppermint mocha. It's the perfect thing to kick off the holiday season. Let's get started and I'll show you how to make this fabulous cake. Let's get things started off with our chocolate cake layers. So in a large bowl here, I have 1.5 cups of white granulated sugar. To that, I'm gonna add 3/4 cup of softened butter. I'm gonna drop that right in. And I'm just gonna use my hand mixer. You can also use a stand mixer and just cream the butter and sugar together. Into my creamed sugar and butter, I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of peppermint oil. You can also use peppermint extract, and this is gonna give all that awesome mint flavor to your cake. Just pour that over. And we're gonna add 6 large egg whites that I've brought up to room temperature. And I'm gonna mix all that together until the egg whites are really light and fluffy. And now for my remaining liquid ingredients, I'm gonna add in 1/2 cup of milk. And I have 1/2 cup of strong coffee. And you wanna make sure you cool this down to room temperature so it's not hot when you add it into the cake batter. And I'm gonna give that a mix with my mixer. And now for my dry ingredients. So in a small bowl here, I have 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. To that, I'm gonna add 1/2 cup of dark cocoa powder, 4 teaspoons of baking powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then just use a spoon and toss all those together. I'm gonna use a fine mesh strainer to sift my flour into the batter in small batches. And I'm gonna use my mixer and combine the flour with the cake batter just until it's combined. And now it's time to get our cake layers into the oven. So today I'm using 3 8-inch cake pans, and I've lined the bottoms with parchment paper. Now you can also do this recipe with 2 9-inch pans. So to divide the batter evenly, I'm gonna be using a kitchen scale today. And just take a ladle and ladle that batter into the pan. And I have my oven preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm gonna bake the cakes until the top is just set. And you can always check by inserting a toothpick into the center. And when it comes out clean, you can go ahead and take your cakes out of the oven and cool them on a wire rack. I have my cake layers cooling, and now I'm gonna get started on my buttercream. So I have 4 sticks or 2 cups of butter, and I've softened it at room temperature. So I'm gonna place all this butter into my mixer bowl, and I'm gonna whisk it for about 5 minutes on high speed until the butter is really soft and fluffy. Next, I'm gonna add my peppermint oil. So I'm gonna add about 1/2 teaspoon of the oil into our frosting. And that's gonna add all that amazing mint flavor. And now I can start adding my confectioner sugar. So I'm gonna add about a cup at a time and give it a good whisk after each addition. Before adding some red food coloring into my buttercream, I'm actually gonna reserve a few cups for our middle layer and for the garnish on top. And now I'm gonna add some red food coloring to color my frosting with, and then we'll be all set to garnish our cake. And now we have everything ready for our cake. So once you take the cake layers out of the oven, you wanna let them cool completely, and then take a long serrated knife and even off the tops. And now it's time to assemble our cake. So I'm gonna be adding a little bit more of that coffee flavor. I'm gonna be using some Kahlua coffee liqueur. If you don't wanna add the alcohol, you can also use like a strong coffee or espresso. And I just put it into a dispenser bottle. I'm just gonna drizzle some over the top here. And next, I'm gonna add a nice generous amount of my frosting. And take a spatula and just spread it evenly to the sides. Next, I'm gonna add my second cake layer. And I'm gonna repeat the same process of adding the coffee liqueur into the cake layers. And for the middle layer, I'm actually gonna add in my white frosting. Add just a generous amount of that. And spread it evenly to the edges. And now I'm gonna be frosting the top and the sides of the cake. Just place a nice generous amount on the top, and then just use your flat spatula and frost the sides of the cake. For my garnishes today, I wanted to add some crushed candy canes onto the sides of the cake. So what I did, I just placed a few candy canes into a Ziploc bag, and then you want to use a meat mallet or some other hard surface and just crush the candy canes into small little bits. So I'm going to take a spoon and my crushed candy cane bits, just gently press them into the side of the cake, and I'm just going to add them on the bottom here. I transferred my remaining white frosting into a pastry bag tipped with a star tip, and now I'm just going to finish off the cake by garnishing the top. And that's it for our peppermint mocha cake. All that's left to do is just dig in and give it a try. This cake is perfection. I love all the intense peppermint flavor, and those chocolate cake layers are to die for. They're so rich and moist and loaded with that coffee flavor, combined with the mint buttercream, which is so good. It kind of reminds me of that filling with those chocolate covered mint creams. It just melts into your mouth. It's really great, and it's full of so much flavor. You guys are gonna love all the flavors here, the combination of the chocolate, the coffee, the mint. It really does taste like a mug of peppermint mocha. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video recipe. It's the perfect thing to kick off the holiday season, so I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.